to stop.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome here for the Indianapolis 250. This is one of the biggest events that we'll host all year. The Daytona 500, the Indianapolis 250, and the Round of Darlington, by many, is said to be the crown jewel events of the Sony Cup Series, and the winner of those will go down in the history as some of the best drivers that has ever raced in this series. Only one driver in the history has ever done that. That's Nick May. Some other drivers trying to add their name onto that list. It's many drivers that have won at some events, so that like Darlington, the Daytona 500, wanting to win here at the Indy 250. This is a big event for many, and what a lot of the teams have marked down on the calendar as a must-win track that they really want to win at before they're done with their racing career. Speaking of being done with a racing career, Jeffrey Lynn has announced that he will not be returning for the 2019 season. This will be his last season with Allen Family Racing Team, and he'll be done with his driving career. So Jeffrey Lynn starting 22nd. He's 9th in the championship. That's big news headlines for him. Eric DeMax, who started off the season with Mace Enterprises, ended up dropping back down to the Hardee's National Series, making room for Luke Martin. DeMax will be making his return in 2019 with Rodriguez Racing, who will also be moving up to the Cup Series for the 2019 season. Other than that, some other big names as well. Chris Dodd, he's starting 12th today. He announced that he will be replacing Jeffrey Lynn. Big news headlines for Allen Family Racing Team. They announced that Lynn will be retiring, and they already replaced Jeffrey Lynn just like that. So Dodd, he qualified 12th, a pretty good qualifying effort for him. He ran very well here last year. Going to try and do very well here at Indianapolis with him getting a ride for Allen Family Racing Team. So let's get you down to the start of the race. As the field paces through turns 3 and 4, getting ready and set to go for 100 laps, 250 miles. Ryan Griffin, the first time he's going to lead the field to the green. Can this be his day to get his first win of the season? His teammates have ran the show for Martin Motorsports. He's looking to get a victory. Jordan Davis has been fast all weekend. The defending winner of this race is third. Jesse Turner, Tomcats, title rival, starting 4th and 5th. But Griffin leads us to the green, and we're racing for round 20. Off turn 2 and down the back straightaway for the first time this evening. Ryan Griffin gets away with the lead fairly well. Jordan Davis follows it up into 2nd position. Dom Capps is into 3rd. Rodriguez down to 4th. Here comes Davis making a move for the lead. Jesse Turner did not get to the bottom. The bottom is really rolling right now, and he's sliding backwards. And Davis is looking to lead lap 1, but Griffin trying to fight back. And Griffin at the line. Gonna get Davis at the line, just barely. So Griffin leads lap 1, 3 wide into turn 1 on lap 1 of the race. And Dom Capps is gonna go out in front with the race lead. Takes it from Jordan Davis with an amazing 3 wide pass for the race lead. Only lap 1 in the event. And an amazing move for Dom Capps. He's out front, and he's gonna get bonus points for leading this race. However, the first yellow flag of the day would happen right here on the get-go. Early in the race, Allen tried to cut off Chris Dodd, and Dodd got contact with Steven Jenkins, resulting in a crash and a collision further behind him. So a big heavy crash involving many drivers off turn 4. It really starts all the way back in turn 3. Allen tries to cut off Dodd. It cuts across his nose. Jenkins gives Dodd a boot off the corner of turn 3 and spins him sideways and into the field, and drivers on the apron trying to miss the incident also get caught up. Here's what happened further into the incident as cars on the apron, Lester and Hernandez, Silver Fox, Collins, all pile up right there in turn 4, trying to miss the accident that happened up in turns 4. And focusing in on Jake Bassinger, just nowhere to go for him. He thought he might have had this cleared with only minimal damage, but him and his teammate Caleb Hoffman were involved, and Jake Bassinger one of our title contenders, really brought his name back in the mix for this championship, but possibly going to take him back out of it. But he is still going to be out there with some damage, going to try and lip it around. Well, as we got all that cleared up, Charlie Smith is a lap down because he was on pit road with a spark plug problem. He is only 1 lap down, however. Dom Capps brings us back and on the way of racing for green flag conditions. His teammates of Rodriguez and Griffin lining up behind him, 2nd and 3rd. Griffin gets right underneath of his teammate Matthew Rodriguez really quickly. And Jordan Davis going to follow suit. And here comes Jesse Turner, the point leader, who has been very consistent all year. Ryan Acosta, his owner and teammate, got taken out right there with an accident. A lot of drivers got a piece of that accident very early in the race, being racing that aggressive and that hard. Only a couple of drivers are out of the race. However, Kyle Collins, Levi Pasco, and James Sorfox are out of the event. Ryan Griffin, who has been very fast this race weekend, trying to do an overtake on his teammate. And Jesse Turner, title rival with Dom Capps, able to follow Griffin through. And look at Davis. What a move by Jordan Davis. The defending winner of this race, trying to go back-to-back here at Indy. Davis is one of the biggest drivers on the silly season market that does not have had a confirmed ride already for the 2019 season. This would be a really good boost for him to try and get a ride for Mace Enterprises or somewhere else for the 2019 season if he could win this race. It's a big race weekend that a lot of owners are looking at. And Ryan Griffin overtaking Dom Capps for the race lead. This very well could be Griffin's day. He's had a lot of good performances as of recent, like at Daytona and Chicago. He leads Jesse Turner, Jordan Davis, Dom Capps, and DJ Curtis. Jordan Davis is blowing the motor. Jordan Davis from the 2nd position has lost the motor, and the defending champion's hopes of a back-to-back Indianapolis 250 win has gone up in smoke. While Jordan Davis blew up, DJ Curtis kind of got sideswiped by Matt DeLeo. He gets put in the wall, and Davis, while he was going for the lead, just blows the motor and really holds up Jesse Turner, and that allows Dom Capps to take over the 2nd position down in turn 3. But man, you got to feel for Jordan Davis. Only not even 10 laps in, and he's out of the race due to an engine failure. Another caution flag is out when some back markers of Caleb Hoffman and Casey Lester, 2 title rivals for the Rookie of the Year honors, tangled up in turns 1. And really, it was kind of at the back of the field. No one else was there. However, the officials threw the yellow. As we come back to the green, pretty sure Jeffrey Finguy only took 2 tires on pit stops because he leapfrogged into the lead. Ryan Griffin back to 2nd, Nick Mason 3rd. 4th is Dom Capps. Matt DeLeo sitting up there in the 5th spot. Dylan Young, I think, took only 2 tires as well. And then, yeah, we're back and underway in racing. Gonna have to see how Jeffrey Finguy plays out because we know he's on a different strategy than the leaders, but he gets an early jump. And for the race lead, only 1 lap in under green flag conditions again. And Ryan Griffin, the pole sitter, does a little bit of a slide job to overtake Jeffrey Finguy, and Nick Mace gonna try and use up Jeffrey Finguy a little bit off turn 2. Finguy trying to fight back on the outside, but not gonna work out. Nick Mace in the 2nd position, Dom Capps in the 3rd. And Jesse Turner trying to set up Dylan Young for a spot for 5th. But Nick Mace has really came on strong as of recent. 3rd place at Chicago. He's only 52 points back to Jesse Turner in the championship, and Mace very well could be a title rival to contend with for 2018. He's in 2nd, eyeing Ryan Griffin for the race lead. Here comes Dom Capps trying to set up a move on Nick Mace. Some very nice overtakes going on there, 200 plus miles an hour. And Jeffrey Finguy trying to get back at Nick Mace into 3rd, but can't quite get there. 2 tires is actually holding up pretty well for Jeffrey Finguy right now. We're going to take you through the field just a little bit. Ryan Acosta sitting back here in 6th. Derek Burton sitting solidly in 7th. Garrett Sidner has worked his way up. And how about Stephen Pollard III sitting inside the top 15? Good run for Red Stallion right now, sitting in the top 15. Finguy trying to get back underneath of Nick Mace, while Capps looking underneath of Griffin, but can't quite get the lead there. Top 5 starting to break away a little bit with Stephen Jenkins trying to be a factor. Nick Mace going to go right back after Dom Capps. Some very nice racing overall here towards the front. Able to pass very easily. And Caps gonna be able to hold off Nick Mace, it looks like here. And Jeffrey Finguy trying to get on the outside of Mace. Some good hard racing. Further back, Acosta, Burton, Turner still racing hard with each other. Griffin trying to pull away from the guys that's racing behind him. Here's one driver that has really faded in the early part of this race. Matthew Rodriguez sitting back here in the 20th position. DJ Curtis back here in, I think, the 25th spot. He is also faded, but his contact with the outside wall heavy early on that we showed with Matt DeLeo has really played a factor in his handling of his race cars, which he slid back. So some contenders have really been sliding through the field. We have a call to TJ Martin. TJ Martin has raced his way into the top 15, replacing Cody Lamas for this race, who had a concussion out at Chicago. Not sure if we mentioned that the pre-race, but that has definitely been highlighted through the race weekend that TJ Martin is racing for Cody Lamas, and Lamas out of this race weekend. He is looking to hopefully be back at Iowa, and hopefully we'll be able to see him back. But TJ Martin having a good run right now in the top 15. Dom Capps has been able to work his way underneath of Ryan Griffin for the lead, and it's going to get some help from Nick Mace, and that help from Mace is going to give him the assist he needs to surge ahead. And Nick Mace trying to follow me through into second spot. Jenkins a little sideways back there in fourth. Turner trying to get underneath of him. Griffin loses 2 spots in 1 lap. A lot of momentum loss. That's going to open the door for Turner to try and take Jenkins for the 4th spot. And Dom Capps back out front again with Nick Mace in second. Ryan Griffin has such a fast race car as he tries to use Nick Mace up a little bit, trying to take that position. And Griffin's back into second. Jesse Turner clawing his way into third. Nick Mace is going to go from second all the way down to 5th, maybe even 6th or 7th, as Jenkins moves his way past him. Right now it's a Martin Motorsports sitting first and second. Jesse Turner running solidly in third. Consistency is key with Jesse Turner this season. Right now, after last weekend, he really needs another race weekend where he finished like out of the race. Dom Capps sitting there about 22 points behind Turner, trying to get as much points as he can. And Turner needs to get up there and lead a lap, get some bonus points, and he overtakes Ryan Griffin for the 2nd position. And now he has his title rival sitting there in the lead. I'll tell you what, though, this race is nothing short of, nothing but like overtakes. Overtake after overtake after overtake. So many drivers able to get such a head of a steam down these straightaways and really make a move. And that's what Steven Jenkins is able to do. Yeah, Motorsports has not won a race in quite some time. Darlington of last year for round 6. And Jenkins thought he could be able to make that move on Jesse Turner work. Didn't have the horsepower to be able to take him down the straightaway. And Turner fought back and got second away again. Nick Mace trying to use Jenkins up a little bit. They've been really close off turn 2. That's been one of the toughest parts of the track all weekend. And Mace is going to get back at Jenkins. And his teammate Dejon Weeks, who qualified outside the top 25, there he is, trying to crack the top 5. More problems for Matthew Rodriguez. Him sliding backwards was probably a sign that he has some sort of mechanical problem going on with that race car, as they pit him for new tires and try and resolve the issue. While Matthew Rodriguez's title hopes take a big slide here at Indianapolis, Jesse Turner makes a big slide move underneath of Dom Capps to be able to take the race lead. And this maneuver past Dom Capps for the race lead is going to give Jesse Turner the bonus points he needs to try and keep Dom Capps from getting as much points as possible on him in the title fight. Turner out front in front of his title rival of Dom Capps. Caution is out for I think the 2nd time this race. And looks like Nick Piercles just pushes up into Scott Roush, into Charlie Smith and Luis Hernandez. And that's what brought out the caution flag. And we're going to bunch them back up again. However, under caution flag, Charles Sanford, there was a big checkup in the front, and everyone tried to slow down, but there was a big checkup involving Sanford Martin. Martin would fall out of the race, Davidson, and then Fisher got turned around, and Chris Dodd, and then title rival Jake Bassinger also got a piece. And it looks as though Martin, maybe Pierre Cleese, and Bassinger are all going to fall out of the race, and this is big for Bassinger. So, another race weekend. Inconsistent runs for Jake Bassinger, and even Matthew Rodriguez have had them really low in the standings recently, and Bassinger and Rodriguez are slowly seeing their title hopes dwindle, even though they've been running solid recently. Just inconsistent runs is not going to do it in the title mix. As we get back to the green flag, we will be on lap 37 of 100. That wreck down the back straightaway under caution took out a bit of race cars. Luke Martin, Jake Bassinger, Nick Pierkles, Jordan Fisher. I think Hernandez went out because of the wreck he was in to bring out the original caution flag. Turner is your leader over Caps, and they're trying to dodge Scott Roush, who is really slow and off the pace from being in that last caution. Ryan Griffin trying to take his teammate by and get second. Dejon Weeks, Stephen Jenkins, Jeffrey Fingay, Eric Burton up here in the mix of this. Nick Mays had a bad pit stop under the last caution flag, which has put him massively behind and behind a bunch of race cars where he shouldn't be. Up front, Matthew Rodriguez trying to gain his lap back after having him pit here. Look at his teammate of Dom Caps trying to make a desperate move. Contact! Dom Caps! Jesse Turner! Oh boy, some beating and banging. Caps and Turner got together at Chicagoland, resulting in both of them having pretty poor finishes, even though Caps gained ground on Turner in the title mix. But Caps making a statement there, a very bold move to get by Jesse Turner, which is going to shuffle Turner down to 5th and moving Caps into the lead. On board Dom Caps. Man, what a bold move into the door of Jesse Turner and moved him out of the way. What a move by this Season 6 champion. Now Jesse Turner has to play catch-up as the front three are trying to break away from the rest of the field. It's a bunch of Fords leading this race here at Indianapolis. Dom Caps and his teammate Ryan Griffin sit first and second, right behind their teammate of Matthew Rodriguez, who is hoping for a caution to get back at the tail end of the field so he isn't stuck a lap down. Griffin trying to also take the lead and get some laps led, but Dejon Weeks sitting back there in third. They won this race. Yamp Motorsports won this race in 2015 with Charles Sanford. They're hoping to do so with Dejon Weeks. They have not won in a long time. They'd love to get a win. Dejon Weeks has never won a Sony Cup Series race. He sits there in third. But Dom Caps looking like the favorite. So does Ryan Griffin. They're leading this race 1-2. And problems for Jeffrey Fingay as he has also blew his motor. So a good day for Fingay Saitomi Motorsports is going to be out the window. Up front, we look like we're going to have a battle for the lead again. Teammates going at it here for the Indy 250. Ryan Griffin trying to stick his nose in there. Dom Caps gives him room, and Ryan Griffin's going to take advantage of it and be able to take the lead, and Caps is going to shut the door back on Dejon Weeks. Caps slides back down into the second position. They have built up a pretty good gap on the rest of the field. Further in the back of the field, the battle for the rookie, the race point. Give a call to TJ Martin. He's in the ninth, looking to pass Eric Burton for the 8th position. So TJ Martin really having a good day. He won at Talladega. Look, oh boy, contact. Oh, some more contact. Sidner not playing around. Some contact even with Eric Burton. Sidner made some contact there. Sidner trying to make up ground on Caleb Hoffman for the Rookie of the Year standings. Sidner has 2 points, looking to get a 3rd point today, but he's going to have to pass TJ Martin, who has been pretty racy with Garrett Sidner. And I'm not sure Sidner has been too pleased with how Martin's raced him, so he gave him a little nudge heading off into turn 4. And Ryan Acosta and also Dylan Young are racing hard for a top 10 spot. We nearly had a scary collision up towards the front. Dom Caps, Ryan Griffin, contact off turn 4, and both cars got sideways and nearly disaster off turn 4 on lap 43. Coming to lap 44. Man, don't need to be doing that too many times. I think a yellow flag is out anyhow. The yellow flag was not out, but that little bobble by Caps and Griffin has allowed Dejon Weeks to move into second. However, the lap car, Charlie Smith, played a role in Matthew Rodriguez staying on the lead lap, and Weeks also lost second due to it. And now the Martin Motorsports cars were forced to go around their teammate and lap him again, and Dejon Weeks is back to third. the lap car of Scott Roush is going to play in the hands of who takes this lead right here. Dom Capps going to use Scott Roush as a way to get by his teammate of Ryan Griffin. And Dom Capps is back out front. Weeks back into second. Griffin back to third. The Martin Motorsports cars have been trying to let Matthew Rodriguez get back out in front of them, but Dejon Weeks is really not wanting to let them work that out very well. Griffin and Capps have been wanting to let Rodriguez back out in front of him for the longest time since the lap car really held up Rodriguez and put him behind him. But Rodriguez, they're trying to let Rodriguez get his lap back, but Dejon Weeks has been racing them very hard. And just before that, they looked like they were about to hand the lead over to Dejon Weeks for a second because Weeks was trying to take advantage of it. But Rodriguez is back on the lead lap. Ryan Griffin again, gonna run up on the slow lap car. Charlie Smith gonna open the door for his teammate of Dom Capps to take advantage of this. And Dom Capps down the inside of his teammate. We are just past halfway in the race. And really we're seeing about it coming down to about 3 race cars. 3 drivers going at it for the lead and for the win possibly if we don't get a caution. Griffin really getting held up now. Needs to duck out and get around Charlie Smith. Griffin really losing time. Capps and Weeks really pulling the gap there. You see Rodriguez, he had to pit. And in the 4th position further behind these drivers is Dylan Young and Ryan Acosta rounding up the top 5. And then there's a big pack of race cars fighting for the top 10 spot with Eric Burton leading this big pack around. But man, Ryan Griffin's really not liked the lap cars in the last couple of laps. And Dejon Weeks looking to try and take the race lead for himself. Look at that bump and run kind of move. Put the bumper to Dom Capps. Dejon Weeks is looking to lead the first lap for him today, but can't quite get the hammer down, and Capps is going to take the lead back. I'll tell you what though, Dejon Weeks is not wanting to give up. He is just not going to give up with Dom Capps. Trying to hang in there with him. Capps really does have the better straightaway speed power than Dejon Weeks, but man, Dejon Weeks wanting to fight back. Dejon Weeks, the Rookie of the Year driver for 2017, trying to get his first ever Sony Cup Series victory, trying to hold off 2 of the strongest race cars that have touched the track all weekend of Griffin and Capps. Yeah, Motorsports has sort of struggled all year. And Dejon Weeks looking to bring them their first win of the 2018 season for round 20. And Weeks is out front leading his old Rookie of the Year rival, Ryan Griffin. The 2 sophomore sensational drivers lead the Indy 250. Jesse Turner recently has been sliding deep in the pack. He is now down to 12th position. He is fighting with Matt DeLeo for 11th. Further ahead of him, Nick Mace has clawed his way into 7th, looking to try and take 6th position from DJ Curtis, who has really had a good recovery since bouncing off the wall. But Curtis is going to lose that position to Nick Mace, possibly. But Curtis is going to try and fight back down the straightaway. But Turner falling outside of the top 10. The caution flag is out. Andreas Allen's been pretty slow all day. Harpel trying to squeeze up the middle to get by him and just got into him. Dylan Schwellenberg also had a piece, and Allen took a pretty good lick to the outside wall. Luckily, no one else would hit him. As we come back to the line, we are going to have 35 laps to go. We're possibly going to be able to go the rest of the distance on fuel, so if we do not have a yellow, we're going to be fine and having no more green flag pit stops. Give a call to this driver, Ryan Acosta. His race team did a fantastic job on their last pit stop, hopefully last pit stop of the day. Acosta has moved his way into 3rd position. Ryan Acosta has yet to win a race in 2018. Acosta has won at least one race every year since 2015. So he's looking to do so here at the famed Brickyard for Indianapolis. But he's going to have to get by the 2 quickest race cars all day long, being Capps and Griffin. Griffin fighting back on the outside, and he's going to be able to hold the lead. Possibly, I don't know. Here comes Ryan Acosta to try and help Dom Capps out. But here comes Acosta to try and take the position back for himself. And Ryan Acosta to the inside takes 2nd away from Dom Capps. How about Look at this. TJ Martin inside the top 10. Subbing for Cody Lamas, having a fantastic run. Dejon Weeks, DJ Curtis, Eric Burton. There's Dylan Young, who ran very well last year in this race. Some of these drivers trying to make a name for themselves, get back up here. They have not really been that quick all day, but here they are. I just find it so cool that Griffin and Weeks, the two Rookie of the Year rivals from last year, head-to-head for this win here at the Brickyard. It's going to be a fantastic race to the finish. Turner continues to fall through the field. He had a solid stop. He had moved into the top 10 after his pit stop, but man, terrible restart for him. It looks as though the handling has really went away on Jesse Turner's race car. He is down to 16th. And here comes Dejon Weeks back at him. And look at the car closing in from third place. That's Eric Burton. Season 9 champion trying to make a name for himself. And Griffin, that Martin Motorsports team, I'll tell you something. That entire Martin Motorsports program just has so good of horsepower down the straightaway. But look at Eric Burton. What a move. Eric Burton, what a move from him to get into second. But that second place is going to be short-lived for Eric Burton. Burton in the 95 has really struggled in the last couple of years. He is retiring. Well, I wouldn't say retiring. Burton said that he is not retiring, that he is stepping away. Oh, more contact for Curtis in the back. Some more heavy outside collision to the outside wall. But Burton stepping away from full-time competition after 2018. He would love to get at least one more win to his name. The Season 9 champion has had a mediocre last couple of seasons. He would love to win another race. He is the highest running Chevy driver at this moment. Dejon Weeks leads the way with his teammate sitting back there in fourth. Jenkins trying to get up there and upset this party. The lead looks like it's going to take place yet again at the front, with Griffin taking the lead back. Ryan Griffin, the pole sitter, has looked untouchable all day, but Dejon Weeks looks like he really adjusted on his race car during pit stops, and he's able to hold back the 11. That's some big, strong power to be able to do that. Eric Burton trying to get back underneath the 11 car. And Eric Burton takes over second spot. Stephen Jenkins into third. Griffin down to fourth. Possibly gonna lose that to Carson Scott. Man. Oh boy. Dom Cap sitting back there in fifth. Matt DeLeo, Dylan Young, Nick Mace, TJ Martin, and Ryan Acosta all having great runs right now. Matthew Rodriguez still a lap down. Jesse Turner trying to climb his way back. Lap car Charlie Smith gonna hold up the leader yet again, and it's gonna really hold up Dejon Weeks. Here comes Eric Burton trying to make a move. Eric Burton on Dejon Weeks for the lead, and man, this is gonna bring everyone to their back bumper. Eric Burton door to door with Dejon Weeks. He's gonna take the lead. Eric Burton, the Season 9 champion, looks as though he's gonna get a lap lead. Eric Burton has not led a lap all season until now. Eric Burton leads at the line, but is going to lose the lead, it looks like, to Ryan Griffin. The two strongest cars have worked their way back towards the front, but the Yamp Motorsports Fords are not done. Jenkins and Young are going to capitalize with Dejon Weeks. Man, the Yamp Motorsports cars, they were pretty slow in qualifying, but they are fast in the race. And Jenkins is in a second. Dylan Young looking to go into third. But man, I don't know if anyone has anything for Ryan Griffin. I believe this is going to be his day. 25 laps to go. Ryan Griffin going to have to deal with the 21 car. Lap cars definitely will play a factor. Dylan Young's going to have such a momentum run. Look at Jenkins. Oh, the 21, Scott Roush, really going to hold up Dejon Weeks. Oh boy, top four breakaway. This could be a battle between the four drivers up here. Yamp Motorsports versus Martin Motorsports for the win. And Jenkins, it looks as though he's going to take the lead. But Griffin going to fight back on that outside. Side by side, that horsepower down the straightaway for Griffin prevails. And Dylan Young trying to follow suit on the outside. Can't quite do it. Not going to have the preferred line. Jenkins back to second. Caps trying to take it away, though. But, man, didn't leave it long. How about this for Dejon Weeks? Dejon Weeks, TJ Martin. This rookie's really impressing me today. Replacing Cody Lamas. And here he is in the top 10 with Matt DeLeo. Turner's back into 8th. Really made a good rebound. But, man, drivers like Nick Mace really struggled. Oh, and there's a crash down in turn 3. And that happened further behind the leaders a lap later. But lap cars really held up Nick Mace and a few others. Caution flag is out with close to 20 to go. Here's what happened. Bobby Jones and Casey Lester probably. Oh, no. DJ Curtis just got into him. And I think Curtis was being held up by the lap cars and got into him and spun Bobby Jones and Casey Lester around. Coming to the line, it's going to be 18 laps on the board. 2 Martin Motorsports cars who have arguably been the best all day sits first, second. And then the Yant Motorsports cars, all 3 of them, Young, Weeks, and Jenkins, sit right there in position to make something happen. They're 3rd, 4th, and 5th. The rookie TJ Martin, a lot on his shoulders, replacing Cody Lamas for this race. He sits there in 6th. Matt DeLeo had to replace Sean Perkins. He sits there in 7th. 8th is Jesse Turner, who has had an up and down day. Looks as though he'll have another consistent run. PJ Williams in 9th. And Sean Harpo rounding out your top 10 with his owner, Eric Burton, in 11th. But, man, with the lap car of Matthew Rodriguez trying to get his lap back in the mix of this thing, he's actually messing up his own cars, his own teammates, as Dom Capps gets shuffled out by Dylan Young. Matthew Rodriguez continuing to race his teammates really hard at the front of the pack, trying to get his lap back. But little does he know he's really hurting the chances of a team victory, as here comes Dejon Weeks. TJ Martin, I can't say enough about how impressive of a run this is for him, sitting here in the 3rd spot. Jenkins and Young right up here in the mix as well. PJ Williams, Sean Hartwell could very well do something. They're in the middle of this battle as well. And they're representing Chevy. And Dejon Weeks finally cuts clear of Matthew Rodriguez. I think he got the memo that he was hurting Ryan Griffin, and he backed out of it. But now, look at all this. Nothing but Fords. A bunch of Fords up here at the front of the pack battling for the win. Then you have 2 Chevys. Dom Capps really fell back because of that exchange. He has really dropped. But up front, Dejon Weeks trying to set up a pass on Ryan Griffin. He has no teammates around him. 15 laps to go. Dejon Weeks trying to get around Ryan Griffin. But man, what a story it would be. Griffin not won a race all season. Weeks has never won a Sony Cup Series race. Dylan Young won at California last year. He's looking to get Yamp their first win in a long while. Man, Weeks keeps working on him. TJ Martin won at Talladega. That was an upset. This very well could be another upset here today for TJ Martin. Even if he finishes right there, it's still an amazing day for TJ Martin, the Hardee's national driver. He's looking to try and go 3 wide on the team cars. Yant Motorsports looking so good right now, all of them in the top 5. Sean Harple trying to make something happen in the closing laps, while Griffin is trying to drive away. The lap car, Charlie Smith, who has really played a role in this race, holds up Ryan Griffin. Griffin trying to block Dylan Young and get to the inside. Really good move for Ryan Griffin, but a bad move by Dylan Young. Didn't get down where he needed to be. Him and Steven Jenkins in the wrong line. And Dom Capps gonna get to the bottom. Him and Jesse Turner picked the right line, got to the bottom, got exactly where they needed to be. Nick Mays getting where he needs to be. Same with Ryan Acosta, Carson Scudder, Burton, Matt DeLeo. They all cut clear of them. But look at this. Oh boy. Is this driver the future? I think TJ Martin is showing that he has potential to be as good as what his dad was. Luke Martin, 20-time winner and a 5-time runner-up in the championship. His son upset at Talladega and won. Many people wrote him off as just lucky because it was a super speedway type victory. But this isn't luck. TJ Martin is out driving the wheels off this 10 Ford and giving it a good show for Cody Lamas. Cody Lamas out of the race car due to a concussion from Chicago. And he's got to be loving this, as when they come back to the line, it'll be 10 laps to go. TJ Martin has his eyes on Ryan Griffin, the rookie. He's only ran just a handful of Cup starts ever, and he sits second here in the Indy 250. Well, my bad. I totally forgot that Dejon Weeks has just checked out with the lead. I didn't even know that Dejon Weeks had took the lead. Well, my apologies. I completely forgot that Dejon Weeks had just blew by Ryan Griffin and took the race lead. And further back there, Dom Capps passing TJ Martin and bringing his own rival for the title. Jesse Turner along with him. PJ Williams sitting back there in 6th. A good run for him. And Nick Mays climbing his way towards the front. I believe he's in the 7th position. It's going to be a good day for him, but he's going to be losing points to Turner in the title race. Turner sitting in the top 5. Another good day for him. But with 10 laps to go, Dejon Weeks sits in the lead with a good chance to get his first Sony Cup Series victory. Lap car of Scott Roush gonna probably play a role here, but Dejon Weeks was able to get to the inside pretty quickly, so it didn't really mess him up as bad. But Ryan Griffin looking for any way to get by his old rival, and he's all over the back bumper of Dejon Weeks. Many people thought that Dejon Weeks would be the first driver to get the first win for Yant Motorsports, and it's looking like he possibly could do so. Trying to hold him off on the outside. What a move for Dejon Weeks to hold strong. Looking like it's possibly going to be a 4-car race as TJ Martin and PJ Williams race for the 5th position. Here comes Jesse Turner. This is a pass on Dom Capps. This is big in the title race because Capps was hoping to come in here and beat Jesse Turner and gain some more points, but it doesn't look so like it's going to be that way. But as we close in here on the final laps with 8 to go, Matthew Rodriguez is still in the middle of all these drivers battling for the win. So I wonder how he's going to play a factor in this. He's underneath of his teammate right here. I'm not sure why he's going to be racing him very hard, because he's not going to be able to get his lap back anymore. Actually, it's not 8 laps to go. I was looking on Matthew Rodriguez. We're coming back to the line. We're looking at 6 laps to go. And that little move by Matthew Rodriguez underneath of his teammate held Griffin up just enough that Dejon Weeks pulled a gap on him. The field safely maneuvers around Charlie Smith, and that's possibly the last lap car as we're going to have to deal with 5 laps to go now. Jesse Turner is on the back bumper of Ryan Griffin and is going to try and make a move. Jesse Turner. Oh boy, can he get down there? No, he can't. Turner's won it, Darlington. He's trying to get another one of the Triple Crowns off of his name. Turner's sitting there in 3rd. Gonna have to try and find another way around him. It's going to come down to a 4-car race as Matthew Rodriguez has kind of gotten out of the way. Will it be Weeks? Will it be Griffin? Will it be Turner? Or will it be Capps? We're about to find out. Rodriguez continuing to really be a bad back marker. He's a lap down, really needs to be kind of letting his teammate race for the win. So I'm not understanding this one. Probably going to be a little bit of a team controversy on Tuesday. But Capps trying to get back by him. So now it looks like it's going to be 3 cars with 3 laps to go for this win. Weeks, Griffin, Turner, still no move out of any of them. And it's going to come from one of these 3 drivers. The experienced veteran sitting back there in 3rd. The 2 sophomore drivers that went head-to-head for the Rookie of the Year honors last year. They sit right here now, 1-2. Griffin has a win. He won last year at Kansas. Dejon Weeks has never won in the Sony Cup Series, although he ended up winning the Rookie of the Year championship. And coming to the line, it'll be 2 laps to go. Griffin, no doubt, has been the best car all day, but he's going to have to take it away from his old rival with 2 laps to go. Dejon Weeks, I can't even begin to tell you. It's been however many races, I think 52 or 54 races. It's been a long time since Yant Motorsports has went to victory lane as a race team. And Dejon Weeks trying to bring them back to victory lane. A lap and a half to go, and he'll bring Yant Motorsports back to victory. But Griffin looking for any way to get of run on the 38. Dejon Weeks has been solid, but he's not been better than Griffin, but he's possibly been able to hold him off. Griffin really needs to be able to get a run on him if he's going to have any shot. White flag is out. Final lap here at the Indy 250. Last lap. Something big is going to happen in these last couple of laps, in these last couple of turns. Griffin needs a heck of a turn too, and it doesn't look like he's able to build up any momentum. Down the back straightaway for the final time, Dejon Weeks eyeing his first Sony Cup Series victory, looking for it to be here at Indianapolis. Into turn 3. Ryan Griffin really drove it in deep, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Dejon Weeks leads his old rival from last year in the Rookie of the Year honors. Back off turn 4. Yeah, Motorsports is finally going to win a race. Back to victory circle. Dejon Weeks wins his first Sony Cup Series victory, and it comes here at Indianapolis. A heck of a drive for Dejon Weeks to be able to get by Ryan Griffin and be able to hold him off. Griffin was the better car all day, and a heartbreak for Griffin. But man, Weeks finally gets the monkey off his back, and Dejon Weeks is going to victory circle. That is pretty awesome right there. Dejon Weeks, a lot of drivers were saying it was coming, and it was about time. And just absolutely fantastic job. That team definitely was not the best team out there, but you can tell Yamp Motorsports really worked hard on a race setup because they were just phenomenal with Weeks, Jenkins, and Young. We didn't get to see Silverfox really in the long run, but Weeks, Young, and Jenkins, they were up there all race and a contender to win the race. And Dejon Weeks pounced on an opportunity to take the race lead from Ryan Griffin when a lap car held him up, and that ultimately was what cost Ryan Griffin a chance at the win. But Griffin had many laps to be able to get back at Dejon Weeks, but he just was not able to get around him. And Dejon Weeks is going to victory circle at Indianapolis. Let's get you our finishing results and standings after round 20.